everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. So I have these YuGiOh trading card packets. It's from Legendary Duelist Season 3. And so basically you get two 18 cards packs and one, I guess, really shiny card and one die. So let's see what we have. So first I have this die. Let's see, so it looks like the dark magic circle on it. Okay, so now for the shiny card we have Kaiser Glider Golden Burst. Let's open it up. Okay, so let's focus in. So the effect, you contribute one monster, special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This attack becomes that monster's current attack until the end of this turn. Nice, so it's really shiny and kind of glittery. Looks kind of cool. So now, let's get to the openings of the card packs themselves. Come on, let's focus. Alright, okay, so let's go with this one first. Alright. Okay, so let's see what we have. So first we have Dark Spirit's Mastery. Let's see, focus up. Discard one card, add one Destiny board or one level 8 feed monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard except the turn this was sent to the graveyard. Place any number of Destiny board and or spirit message cards with different names from your hand to the graveyard on the bottom of the deck in any order. Then draw the same number of cards. You can only use each effect of Dark Spirit's Mastery once per turn. Alright, so this is clearly targeted towards Yami Bakura, who he pretty much used an occult-themed deck in Season 2, but I don't plan on using any Fiend-related cards anytime soon. So let's go with the next card. Earthbound Wave. So this card goes with the Earthbound Immortal archetype, which is one of my favorites. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control an Earthbound Immortal monster, negate that activation, and if you do, destroy it. So it's a counter trap, and that's really cool. I would like to make an Earthbound Immortal deck myself, but I don't have the cards for it just yet. Next up, Earthbound Linewalker. This is really good for Earthbound Immortals. Earthbound Immortal monsters cannot be destroyed by their own effects. So basically, something with Earthbound Immortals is all of them share 4 same effects. 2 of them being if there's not a field spell if there's not a field spell available, then it'll be destroyed, and there can only be one on the field at a time. Both Earthbound Linewalker, you can have as many Earthbound Immortals as you want, and there doesn't have to be a field spell, so that is really, really good. Next up, Generation Next. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, add to your hand or special summon one Elemental Hero monster, Kariba monster, or Neo-Spacian monster from your deck or graveyard with attack less than or equal to the difference in life points. Also, for the rest of that turn, you cannot activate cards, the effects of cards with the same name as that card. You can only activate one Generation Next per turn. So this is clearly support for the hero archetype that was used by Jade and Yuki in the GX series. I'm not a fan of them because they're annoying to go up against in Duel Links. Next up, Sun Dragon Inti. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, destroy the monster that destroyed this card, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack of that monster on the field. Once per turn during the standby phase of the next turn, after this card was on the field destroyed, you can target one Moondragon Quia in your graveyard, special summon that card. So this card was used by Darksigner Rex Godwin, or Goodwin in the English dub, in the anime in basically the Darksigner's arc finale where he faced off against Yusei, Jack, and Crow. And this was paired with Moondragon Quia as well, and it was a really awesome duel. Next up, Evil Hero Lightning Golem. Must be special summoned with Dark Fusion. Once per turn, you can target one monster on the field, destroy that target. So this was used by Jaden in, I guess, Season 3 of GX when he was basically the Supreme King Jaden, and where he basically wanted to kill everyone. So yeah. Let's see what we have next. Earthbound Immortal Revival. Discard one card, then target one Earthbound Immortal monster and field spell in your graveyard. Add those targets to your hand. Again, very awesome for an Earthbound Immortal deck. Next up, Predaplant Chimera Flesia. Let's see. Once per turn, you can target one monster on the field with a level less than or equal to this card's banish it. When this card is declared, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's face-up monster, you can activate this effect until the end of the turn. That opponent's monster loses exactly 1,000 attack, and if it does, this card gains 1,000 attack. Once per turn, during the standby phase after this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one polymerization or fusion spell from your deck to your hand. I've gone up against this in Duel Links quite a few times, and it's really annoying, but I guess that means it is really good. It's rainbowy. Earthbound Greater Linewalker. Okay, so this is really, really good. So if you control a synchro monster and have a synchro monster in your graveyard, you can special summon this from your hand. During your end phase, you can add one Earthbound Immortal monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If an Earthbound Immortal monster is normal summoned while this card is on the field, you can make your opponent's life points 3,000. You can only use each effect of Earthbound Greater Linewalker once per turn. So in, of course, an Earthbound Immortal deck, this card is extremely good because while this card is on the field, and for example, I'll go with Mausoleum of the Emperor, you could instead pay 2,000 life points and normal summon, for example, Earthbound Immortal Sikapakapu or Earthbound Immortal Uru, and those have 3,000 attack, and with this card's effect, you can make your opponent's life points 3,000, and Earthbound Immortals can attack your opponent directly, so this could be really, really good for ending the game. So we're halfway through the card pack. So let's see what other cards we have. Scrap Iron Signal. Let's focus on here. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a synchro monster that mentions a synchro monster as material, negate that activation after that. Set this card face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. You can only activate one Scrap Iron Signal per turn. So this is clearly part of the Scrap or Scrap Iron archetype. Scrap Iron Scarecrow that is really annoying to deal with. It's been added to Duel Links, and I haven't encountered it yet, thankfully. Spirit Message L. So this is one of the Destiny board cards. This is paired with Spirit Message F, I, N, and A, and when all 5 of those cards are on the field, you basically win the game. Predaplant Drosophilum Hydra. You can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, attributing one monster on either player's field with a predator counter. You can special summon this card once per turn this way. If this card is on the field or in your graveyard, quick effect, you can banish one other Predaplant monster from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field, and it loses 500 attack. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. So this will go with the previous Predaplant monster, I guess, Chimera, what's its name? And the Predaplant archetype was used by Yuri in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 saga. Right, Archfiend Empress. If exactly one face-up Dark Fiend monster on the field, except this card would be destroyed, you can banish one Dark Fiend monster from your graveyard instead. When this card is destroyed and sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one level 6 or higher Dark Fiend monster in your graveyard, except Archfiend Empress special summon this. So again, I guess this would be good for pairing with Fiends, but I don't really use Fiends. Earthbound Geoglyph. This is really, really, really good. So while any level 10 monsters are on the field, all Earthbound Immortal monsters are actually level 10. Neither player can target this card with effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can treat one synchro monster as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of an Earthbound Immortal monster. If a synchro monster is special summoned except during the damage step, you can add 1 Earthbound Immortal spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Earthbound Geoglyph once per turn. So I've been having an idea, like pairing Ancient Fairy Dragon, as long as, like, probably in Duel Links instead, because Ancient Fairy Dragon is banned. So you could have any other field spell on the field, have Ancient Fairy Dragon, activate its effect, destroy that field spell, add this to your hand instead, maybe use something else to summon another kind of monster, and you could basically have an Earthbound Immortal on the field very quickly. Dododo Dwarf Go 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 Glove. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Zoo Ba 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 Ga 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 from your hand if you control a Go 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 or Dododo monster except for this card. While this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. So I guess the Onomatopoeia archetype was used by Yuma Tsukumo in the Zexal Saga. They can be pretty annoying to go against in Duel Links. Spirit Message A. So again, this is paired with all the other Spirit Message cards. We have L right over here. I wonder if we're going to get the other letters. Gimmick Puppet Terror Baby. When this card is normal summoned, you can target 1 Gimmick Puppet monster in your graveyard, except Gimmick Puppet Terror Baby. Special summon it in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Gimmick Puppet monster effects this turn. So I'm actually a fan of Gimmick Puppet cards. They were used by Quattro Arclight, or Thomas Arclight is his real name, in the YuGiOh Zexal Saga. And the last card that we have for this pack, Puppet Parade. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon Gimmick Puppet monsters with different names from your deck up to the difference. Then if your opponent's life points are at least 2,000 higher than yours, you can set 1 rank up magic normal spell directly from your deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except Gimmick Puppet monsters. You can only activate 1 Puppet Parade per turn. So this would be paired very well with another Gimmick Puppet monster. So there you have it. These are all of the cards that I had on the packet on the left. We have a second packet, but this video is getting pretty long, so I'll open it up in a later video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!